watch the show. What did I do? Don't do it! Hello and welcome to another episode of Japanese Anime Mania, or JAM. There is a common thing with introverts, to where they are socially awkward and they don't want to associate with the real world. They don't want to go out and talk to people. Whenever they try to do so, things will usually turn up bad, or they just don't know how to do it. In most cases, I feel bad for that person because they are trying their hardest to be sociable. But we go out there, the so-called normal people, go out there and try to make their life harder by laughing at them. You know what I mean? Okay. Again, I feel bad for these people. Watching shows that have these character tropes in them makes me kind of die a little bit inside every time, because this character usually does nothing. There might be some character progression. They might come out of their shell, out of their bubble. But in today's case, I was very, very disappointed and was hoping that there would be a change in the status quo. Today, we will cover Watamote. Shanwa. Our story is pretty simple. It's about the story of how high school is supposed to be to a middle schooler, or someone who's just coming into high school for the first time. A new place or a new adventure, really. With our story, Watamote, our main character, Tomoko, wants to be popular in high school. As the name of the show is called, no matter how I look at it, it's you guys' fault I'm not popular. Due to that, you would think that the main premise of the show is for her to get into high school, become popular, and everyone will enjoy being in her company. And yes, that is the premise of the show. To be popular in high school, have everyone adore her. She thinks she's going to get a boyfriend, have the best friends, everything will go right for her. Speaking from personal experience myself, yes, there were some cases to where this story was very relatable. I was happy that there was a show, or a manga in that matter, that even existed that even got close to how introverts can feel. The show manages to go in and just pile it all in on once on how an introvert feels in situations that they are not accustomed to. This is perfect. That's pretty much the gist of the story. Tomoko wants to become popular in high school, but due to her being an introvert and being socially awkward, and I mean horribly socially awkward, that's where the comedy comes from. From her not being able to do any situation correctly and just going insane from it. As I said in the story portion of it, our main character and our only character is Tomoko. She is your typical introvert, just typical introvert, really. She can't do anything sociable. She is very awkward. She tries to go out of her way to do things with other people in her class, but no one acknowledges her, or if they do, they give it in negative feedback. Whenever she tries to do something in public, negative feedback. She tries to do something with her family, negative feedback. It's all... It works. Yes. It works in the sense that this is how introverts usually act in some cases. Because like I said, I can attest to that. So Tomoko goes out of her way to do things that she thinks will make her more popular, both in public, in school, and with her family. But that's the problem. She doesn't know how. She doesn't have someone to support her. Sure, yes, you could say, oh, great viewers, that there is her childhood friend from middle school. But the thing is though is that her middle school friend is doing off a lot better than her and has a negative impact on Tomoko's social life and social skills. Whenever she tries to ask for her friend's help, it comes out off negative because her friend has got her life together more than Tomoko does. Tomoko does nothing to fix her situation. She believes that everything should be accustomed to her and that everything and everyone is snobbish. It reminds me of several people, but that's how it is. She believes that nothing can change and that she shouldn't have to change herself. At times she does, but since she doesn't know how to do it correctly, it comes off as infuriatingly embarrassing. Watching it, I was like, hey, that's pretty cool. I love it. I'm a horrible person. What am I doing? I feel bad for her every time a situation happens. I wish that I could just be like, it's okay. You tried. Try it again later. But it's all cool. But nothing happens in this whole series, unfortunately. Animation-wise, boom. This is where the show has some high points. There are some transition shots that just perfectly match, where the screen will come apart, come together. Transition shots are great. Over-the-top shots, angle shots, to where you see Tomoko going through her family's house, or going through different areas of the town. Just overhead shots are, again, done perfectly. Filters, whoa, filters are great. Colors galore whenever a joke is being made. And also, comedy series. You gotta have a reference or two in there, don't you? Because I mean, good grief. She is an anime fan, obviously, just because of the way she acts, the way she puts herself about, as well as just the interior of her room. A lot of the jokes, other than her situational occurrences, there are the references to various other anime. I can name 3 off the top of my head. Death Note was one. The basketball one, I don't remember. We'll put a little annotation right here to fix that, because I don't know what it's called. Last week's episode of Another. Wow, I completely forgot that was a reference in this show, and it was funny because it makes sense because she believes that everyone's ignoring her in her class. She tries to go out of her way to do things, but everyone ignores her. So it follows the plot of, oh, they're all ignoring me. I must be the other. That aside, the references are pretty funny, and as Captain America can say,
I understood that reference.
Thanks, Cap. Anyway, sound-wise, there is nothing. Regular soundtrack? So, for the final verdict of the show, last week, the first episode was a buy it, second week was a stream. Our third option is, forget it. Truth be told, it is a good show, but that's just me. The comedy was kind of hit and miss. I love the references, but I just couldn't get over the fact of the embarrassing situations. It hurt me inside to see things that could have easily been avoided. So, like I said, there are only 12 episodes in this show, too, like last week's episode. But the thing is, though, is that nothing ever changes. You will continuously watch the next episode, hoping that she fixes the situation. She gets popular. People will start to talk to her. She'll get a friend in class. At the end of the show, nothing happens. She doesn't have a friend at the end of class. We are stuck in the same rut at the very end. So, for alternate anime recommendations, we have The Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya. It's a great show. I love it. And it deals with the whole fact that we take away the introvertness, but we make it to where it's high school, and we have the comedy aspects. Haruhi is streamable on kissanime.com. And there we go. For another ultimate anime recommendation, I would say, welcome to the NHK. It's again, we go back to the introvertness, but with a more darker side to it. And more less comedy, and more, again, darker and sinister, which it does rather well. Welcome to the NHK is streamable on Funimation.com. And from there, that's it. Thank you everyone so much for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. We have Facebook and Twitter. It's right there in the box. Other than that, thank you for watching, ladies and gentlemen. And I hope you have a good one. See you around.